Newsweek magazine in 1988, when you had a Senate hearing and so on, said all scientists agree.
Already in 88?
Already in 88. What is the purpose of that? The purpose of that, and I have said this on other occasions, almost no one in society today, especially among the educated, actually knows anything about science. If you ask somebody in literature, they're proud of the fact that they cannot add numbers.
Yes, we have the same here in France. It's
yeah, everywhere.
Everywhere.
And so the question is, how do you get them on board, involved? Turns out it's very easy. And it took me a long time to realize this. These people who do not understand anything about science or math or anything know they don't understand it. They're insecure. They want to know that they're safe. So you tell all scientists agree, now I can say this and I believe in science. That's why you give them a simple picture. Greenhouse effect, that's just putting a blanket on. Now I understand science. The trouble with it, and you can tell immediately that these people do not understand science, they use a word which is the opposite of science in English. It's a very peculiar word, science, because its opposite is the very same word with the definite article in front. So the opposite of science is the science.
You mean the science is a kind
contradiction in terms. It says there is a science, it is dogmatic, there's no questioning it, I believe in the science. It's a religion. Science is skepticism. Science is questioning things. Science is suggesting solutions and testing them. Science is not about dogma.
How such a new dogma could be so successful?
Oh, it's happened before. It's happened before.
So what are examples of this? Well,
eugenics,
in general,
eugenics
on Lysenko, on this kind of things.
Well, Lysenko is different. Lysenko is different. Lysenko had no particular support,
so maybe
except that Stalin would kill you if you objected. So that was a powerful argument. But eugenics was more subtle. Eugenics began in 1880 with the creators of modern statistics, Fisher, Galton, and so on, great figures. And nobody cared at all, because the statisticians had a sophisticated mathematical approach to evolution. And the people we were talking about, the humanists, the socialists, couldn't understand what they were talking about. This all changed in 1900 when we rediscovered the work of the monk Mendel with peas, that there was a genetic component. All of a sudden the picture arose that feeble-mindedness, stupidity and so on, were a single recessive gene. And if you could get rid of this gene, you could get rid of such people. That was simple enough, and then it caught on. Now people, quote, understood the science. And it continued and had terrible ramifications through the 1930s. But some of the most important people in the world were very enthusiastic, George Bernard Shaw and so on. Eugenics was part of the progressive political movement. It led to a great many disasters, including racial politics of the Nazis. And so that disgraced the field And even human genetics was dead for almost 10 years because of it. But no, as soon as you simplify something so that somebody outside of science says, I understand science, you've got them.
Could it be that, well, it's not eugenics, and in general, when you provide this argument, people say, but well, you're comparing environmentalists with the Nazis.
No. You asked something else. You asked, was there an example of a complicated theory that got accepted by non-scientists? And eugenics was a good example. And the reason it's a good example is it showed that if you gave a sophisticated argument, it didn't go. You had to make it a simple argument that allowed these people to believe they understood science. The same thing with the greenhouse effect. It caught on because you told people a greenhouse gas is like a blanket, and a blanket keeps you warm. They said, now I understand science. Yes. If you said that it involved radiative transfer and convection and so on, and emission level, no, it would not catch on.
How do you think it was possible to create the consensus, well, apparently consensus around the question?
You assumed it from the beginning. As I mentioned, in 1988, when you had the Senate hearing, there was immediately a cover of Newsweek magazine showing the Earth on fire and the headline, "All scientists agree." Consensus, whenever you polled the American Meteorological Society, there was no consensus. When you claim 97% and you look for the articles, you don't find it. But what is the use of saying it? Well, it's for the people who are not scientists to hear that all scientists agree. Okay, I'll agree.
And do you get support from, let's say, mainstream scientists who don't want to speak out, but say, well, okay, in fact, I agree with you, but I cannot say it?
I would say, first of all, the vast majority of scientists know nothing at all about climate, and more important, they don't want to know anything at all about climate. It's too dangerous a subject. I know Nobel laureates in physics, field medalists in math, and all of them, when it comes to climate, will say, oh yeah, it's a big problem. We endorse anything. Why get involved? Moreover, as I say, scientists are people. Scientists have their own political preference. And like most academics, they're on the left, and the left wants climate change to be an issue. And so they'll go along. The only Nobel laureate I know that doesn't go along is Ivar.
Yes.
Ivar doesn't, but he's very old and he's not well.